Hard to sail without any wind.
Okay, so full disclosure, nothing worked the way we wanted it to on this project. This was our original design. It was the bipod mast that was holding up the long yard so that the sail was up a little higher and a little bit more of an angle. But when we raised it, we broke the yard, boom, right there. It just bent in half because I had reduced its structural integrity by drilling holes through it, I guess. So we ended up modifying the design. We just hung the sail directly from the mast. And, you know, I mean, it's a simpler design, a simpler rig in some ways, which is nice, but it doesn't quite look as epic. And this is what we ended up doing. There wasn't any wind anyway, so we really couldn't even test it out. But the rest of the video is just our failures and troubleshooting. You know, it was a little disappointing, but you gotta live and you gotta learn. I wanted to add some buoyancy just because, you know, I didn't know if we'd capsize, if the water would be rough. And so I took these inner tubes, put one on the front and the back, just use them as airbags. I think they're better than the, you know, whitewater airbags because they're a little sturdier material. They're probably a lot cheaper, and you know, they really can squeeze in any shape you want. Maybe they don't look as pretty, but I kind of like the look of them. So it didn't matter. We didn't flip. There wasn't any wind or waves. It was perfectly still, but it's good to know. I could have used more, but I just did the two. Unfortunately, this took about 13 minutes. It was my first time really trying to take it all off and on neatly. It's a little complicated, you know, with the steering and the rudder and all that, so I'm gonna still keep working on it. I like the idea. I just want to make it easy to use, so that way I'm more inclined to use it.
You're live.
All right, man. Are you ready? Are you ready to try out this sail canoe and see if it works?
I'm gonna stay on the shore.
Do you know how to swim?
I do.
Okay, good. You're probably gonna need it.
So here am I setting it up on the beach, and already as soon as we got there, we could look out and see that the water was still. There wasn't going to be anything to test. I just had to hope that maybe the wind would pick up a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I probably should have just checked the weather, looked at the wind and said, let's do it another time. But I didn't. Anyway, so my neighbor Paul here giving me a hand. Really just standing around while I did stuff. So there it is. Oh, here's the part where we finally lifted. Everything's rigged up, and you can see there was a line that was snagged under the control panel, and man, it just popped that thing up. Yeah. It was not good. It was so embarrassing. All this work that I'd spent on it, the last couple of videos I've done on this channel, getting it all ready, and then, man, it just broke in half. The pole just was not strong enough.
Not today, guys.
All right. Okay, well, we were raising our spar here, and we had a critical malfunction. Come on over here so you can see this. Our spar, our yard that was holding the sail, totally just snapped in half at one of the points that I drilled through. So obviously I'm going to need to drill a smaller hole, or we're going to need a thicker, heavier duty spar for that. So we're going to try to rig it up another way so we can still do some sailing today. Don't worry, we're going to get it done. Okay. So that's so embarrassing.
Yes, embarrassing it was. I brought my neighbor Paul out here all this way. He volunteered to help me out, and then our entire thing messed up. So he was very patient, had a good attitude about it. Hey, he probably had a better attitude about it than I did. But finally, you know, we decided to go with this A-frame alone. So we raised it up, and then we just tied the sail straight onto that, I guess, is that the backstay? I think that's the forestay. I don't remember which way we had this sail rigged.
All right, we'll try this out and see if it works. It looks okay. It's not quite what I was going for, but in some ways it's simpler.
And then we just tried to put the rudder on before we get it into the water, which was a little annoying.
All right, well, so the whole test run is shot because when the yard broke, yeah, exactly, we lowered our standards. When the yard broke, we moved the mast back to have the top of the sail on, but that meant that our lee boards, which were supposed to be positioned further forward on the mast, now don't have anywhere to be secured. I should have brought that extra pole anyway, but I didn't, and this pole's too small for it. So we're just going to go with the rudder and the sail. Now there's no wind anyway, so it doesn't even matter really, but we'll at least be able to test out the rudder and see if it kind of does something. You know, and I'll be honest, this sail setup is in some ways better because it's simpler, right? You only have the one mast going up and down, but does it work? I don't know. It doesn't matter if it works. It's going to be great. What could go wrong? We'll have to test out the lee boards another time.
But, you know, we like having fun and tinkering, so really at the end of the day, everyone wins. Finally, the sail canoe is on the water. As you can see, there is lots of wind. Look at all that chop out there. Yeah, I ended up paddling more than sailing. Actually, I basically paddled exclusively. I'm just doing a little bit last minute line managing here. I think I had a halyard that I had to move around because it's in a different spot than it was previous. Oh, that's right. So this backstay going up to the A-frame, I had to run that around the side of the canoe, and I ran it to a pulley up front so that I could lead it aft to the cockpit, or I can lead it center to the cockpit. So I've kind of got it going all around. That way I could lift and lower the entire A-frame from my seat in the middle at that stupid steering wheel, which was awesome, by the way. Oh, and I think the next thing we're going to do is actually test it out to see if we get any movement out of it.
All right, let's look at the rudder here. Left. Okay, left and right. How's it looking? Is it holding up okay?
It definitely looks. I mean, it's steering. It's not like you're in high winds, so I think you'll be okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to attach my wheel, so we'll do that next time. Awesome. Well, I think we're ready to go, right?
Yeah. All right, I'm back.
It looks like the wind has actually totally died down now. There's zero wind, although the boat's moving a little bit.
Hey,
so.
it is blowing away.
So we'll see. All right, anyway.
All right.
You coming, Paul?
No.
Why not?
You know, I don't want to put a damper on your maiden voyage, so, you know, I'm just going to let you go on your...
We might just have to delete the whole video.
No. This is an outtake to the time it actually works. Shall we help? You got it? You're out there.
And just like that, we're off. A glamorous start to a glamorous day. Yes, so I tried to paddle out a little bit into the center of the river, hoping that maybe I'd get a little gust of wind or something, anything. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks all right. It looks kind of fun. But yeah, it wasn't going anywhere. I'll try it a different time. I'm ready to try it again. I'm psyched for it. Not much to see. It was kind of cool being out there. The first design was superior in the sense that the sail wasn't in your face. It was at a higher angle, so that way the clew of the sail, no, that's the tack. Wait, what's the back part called? I don't remember. I think it's the tack. The tack wasn't right down low, it was up a little higher. And that would have made it a little bit nicer to see around. The visibility would have been better. And it would have been a little taller, which would look cool too. But that's all right. So right now I'm just out there, yeah, doing nothing. That's about it. Here, let me speed it up a little bit. It'll look like I'm sailing. Okay, I only had a short bit there because Paul kept moving the camera around and it was making me seasick. But here's another big stretch that I can make it look like I'm sailing if I fast forward it where you put the camera down. So here you go. I would like to say that there's definitely potential. If I go out on a good day and I do some thinking and tinkering with the rig to make it a little easier to set up, I really think I could make this work and have a lot of fun with it. But that day was not today. Now I want to show you this part because look at how easily I can lower the sail just using that halyard. Lower the A-frame and then the entire sail goes down with it. And I was just bored of sailing around with the paddling with the sail up, so I just put the sail down and just paddled my way back to the dock or to the beach. So that was the video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have any tips or you want to laugh at me and this awesome adventure, please do. Well, it's hard to sail without any wind.
Oh man, almost caught us going off the road. That'd be
I'm a good driver.
that would be analogous to this trip.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Okay, well guys, that was kind of a disappointing trip. Everything broke. Apparently there were a bunch of people walking around. There might have been some children who weren't suitable for TV. So hopefully you didn't get them on film, Paul. But anyway, it was a little disappointing. You know, I think from now on, I'm just going to take it to the other river, the Rappahannock, so at least we can jump in and just swim around and snorkel, even if the wind's terrible. And maybe I'm just going to simplify the rig because, I mean, if you're going to do all that work and not even have it function, you know, we got to do something else. So I'll rethink something. What do you think, Paul? Have any suggestions?
Motor.